Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. So today it's day 2 of TCS pattern which we have taken up yesterday. Yesterday I took you through the entire assessment pattern for TCS selection. So please remember, this drive is going to happen very soon. You will get to know from your placement officers as well as APSSDC coordinators about it. What you need to keep in mind is the first stage of selection will be written test, followed by interviews, and these interviews will be HR round as well as technical round. Now what we are going to do is we are going to talk about the entire pattern for written assessment, and I'm also going to help you with one particular aspect which is very critical and essential, and that is email writing. So when we talk about the pattern, why am I talking about email writing is, so the pattern has email writing as one of the criteria, one of the sections. So there are 4 sections in the written assessment. You have email writing skills, where you have one email which you need to write within 10 minutes. So the time allotted or stipulated is 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes you need to write this email. Then you have quantitative aptitude. You have 20 questions. Let's have the slide. You will have 20 questions, and the time permitted for these 20 questions is 40 minutes. So within 40 minutes you need to answer these 20 questions, which essentially means 2 minutes per question. If you compare that with some of the other that happens in other organizations, so the time allotted is pretty lower. Here you're getting 2 minutes, which is pretty good, I would say. If you look at the extreme right, it says number of star mark questions is 2. What does this mean? I will explain that very soon. I know I spoke about all this yesterday. I'm doing that again today for the benefit of those who did not attend the session yesterday. Then you have TCS C MCQ, multiple choice question, and that will be on C program language. You will have 10 questions that you need to answer. You will have 20 minutes time. Again, you have 2 minutes per answer. You need to pick the right option. Then you have a coding test, which is one program that you need to write depending on what the question is, and the time allotted here is 20 minutes. Now there is also a negative marking. What does that mean? There is a negative marks of 0.33% for every wrong response, and this is applicable only for quantitative sections. So out of the 20 questions, if you are answering any question incorrectly, you will lose 0.33 marks. Okay, that's a negative marking. So you got to be very careful. So out of 20, 10 questions you have answered correctly, you score 10 points. Remaining 10 you have answered incorrectly. For each question it will be minus 33. So imagine how many points you will end up losing. You lose 3.33 points minus 10 that you have scored. So it's a very dicey situation. That's why you have 2 minutes per question. Please be very prudent. Please be very careful when you answer these questions, especially on quantitative aptitude, because you have 0.33 negative marks, and this is applicable only for quantitative aptitude. Okay. Now here is the important aspect, which says star marked questions have 2 times more marks. Please note the negative marks also double up, which means if I have a particular question, you answer it correctly. Let me give you an illustration to help you understand it better. So I have number of questions here. Okay. Now the point, each of these questions allows you to score 1 marks each. Okay. So this is what you can score. I am going to change the color so that you can understand. If the answer is correct, you will score, let me mark it green. If the answer is correct, you will score 1 mark because it's a total mark that you can score. Okay. Now this is only specific to quantitative aptitude I am talking about. Let me add the description, question number, I'm going to change this a little bit so that it's easier for you to understand. Okay. So you have question number 1. The allowed marks is 1. If you answer it correctly, you will score 1 marks each. Now, in case if you answer it incorrectly, in case if there is a mistake in this particular answer, so you will lose minus 0.33. Okay, this is what you will lose in case if it's incorrect. Now what happens is, say this is how the entire paper will look like, and there are 2 questions which is marked as star. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Say for example, star mark question has 2 times more marks. Please note the negative mark also double up. What do I mean by that? The marks allowed here says 1. Since these 2 are starred, I am going to mark it with a different background. Since this is marked as star, you can score 2 points in case if it's a correct answer, because these 2 are starred. But in case if you make a mistake, it will double as well. So these 5 and 6, whatever is marked as star, is basically your bumper question. If you have scored less, you can score more on these 2 questions. But please remember, if you have already made some incorrect choices, and in the start question also, if you make an incorrect choice, you will lose more points. So you got to be very, very careful. Okay. So again, you have quantitative aptitude, 20 questions, 40 minutes allowed, 2 star mark questions. You will have questions, multiple choice question on C language. Then you have a coding test where you need to write the entire code that can be executed without an error. That's only writing skills. Like yesterday I said, email writing is where majority of participants have failed in last 2 years. What are the mistakes that they ended up doing? Let me talk about that in terms of do's and don'ts. But before that, a quick recap of what the topics that will be part of the 20 questions for quantitative aptitude. Here are the topics which you need to focus on: probability, permutation and combination, time and distance, time and work, equations, ratios and proportions, alligation and mixtures, series and progression, average, percentage profit and loss, problems on ages, area, shapes and perimeter, number system, HCF and LCM, and reasoning. So these are the topics which will cover the entire 20 question that will come for quantitative aptitude. Now for email writing, there are things which you need to remember, you need to keep in mind. Please do not miss these points. You have to follow what I am going to talk about now. Then I will talk about what you should not be doing. All right, let's begin. I did this yesterday. I'm doing a recap so that whatever you missed, you can understand that today essentially well. Let's go. So read the topic carefully. Read and understand the keywords or key phrases mentioned. Use each and every keyword and phrases mentioned. Even if you miss one of the keyword or phrase, the email will be invalid. Ensure keywords are used in the same form as mentioned in the topic. For example, buy cannot be used as bought. You cannot change the tense or the verb form. Keywords should be mentioned in the sequence as mentioned in the topic. Start a new paragraph for change of thought group. New paragraph should start as a fresh line. Entire email should be left indent. Do not leave a gap on the left when you start a new paragraph. Use the receiver's name and sender's name as mentioned in the topic. Always begin your email with greeting, hello, or salutation in the end, the closing, thanks and regards, and mention the sender's name. You will get certain mails where the receiver and the sender's name will be mentioned, so keep that in mind. Ensure the entire email is written within 10 minutes. Click on submit button before 10-minute time is up. Clicking on the button even at the 10-minute mark or later will not allow the mail to be submitted. So the time allocated is 10 minutes. Even if you submit or if you continue to write that email and you don't submit within 10 minutes, it will not allow you to register that email. Word count of the email should be as per the instruction given in the question. So if this word count says minimum 70 words, you have to write minimum 70 words. Keep that in mind. Now the don'ts aspect. These are the things which you should not be doing. Here's the first one. Do not miss even a single keyword or phrase mentioned in the topic. Do not change the tense or the verb form of the given keyword. Do not address the receiver as hi. You should always use hello. Do not make any spelling mistakes, grammatical mistakes, or punctuation mistakes because you will lose points. Do not exceed 10 minutes time limit. Do not write the mail below the number of words given in the instruction. So if the email says 80 words, you can use 85, 90, 95, 120, 1000, 1 lakh words, doesn't matter. But even if you use 79 words, you will be disqualified. This is very, very important. These are the areas where you will get disqualified or you will lose points. So I'm going to show you the slide again. Please make a note of these points. I'm going to pause so that you can make a note of these points. Even if you go wrong in even 1 point, you will get disqualified or you will lose marks. All right. So let's look at some examples. I prepared a couple of sample tests so that we can go through it. Now before that, please remember there are 4 sections in the entire assessment. We have email writing skills, quantitative aptitude, C language where you will have multiple choice questions, and you have coding. All these sections you need to clear in order to qualify for the interview round. You cannot say that, okay, in email I failed, but other 3 sections I've done well, so I should be given a chance. I'm sorry, that doesn't work like that. TCS is one of the best company in the world, of course in India as well. So obviously they want the best people. You need to ask yourself, are you that best person? This training is initiated to make you the best. We are going to help you with everything that you need, but it's up to you how much you practice. Yesterday I categorically mentioned that if you have any questions, please post on the YouTube video. I will take a look at it and I'll provide the answer, but not a single question has come through. So if you're watching this program right now, you may call during the last 10 minutes of this session. I will tell you when. So please call and ask your questions. All right, let's begin. Here is how the email will look like in the assessment. Okay. It will say write an email to Vikas Singh detailing the procedure to reset his password for Wi-Fi in order to access internet through his desktop. I'm going to mark this red because this is what the question is. Okay. This is how the question will look like. Write an email to Vikas Singh. Now when it says to Vikas Singh, this means this is a receiver. Detailing the procedure to reset his password for Wi-Fi in order to access internet through his desktop. Okay. To make sure you are not breaking any one of these rules. If you break these rules, you will get disqualified. So please be very careful. Rule A. Use all the keywords given below. Minimum words should be 50, otherwise your email cannot be validated. Addressing and signing should be done as in the question given. Means addressing means the receiver. The sender's name is not mentioned. If you look at it, it only says write an email to Vikas Singh. Only the receiver name is mentioned here. The sender's name is not mentioned, so you can write your name. That's what it means. Addressing and signing should be done as in the question given. Common grammatical rules. Punctuation should be according to standard English. You cannot make a mistake in terms of grammar or punctuation. You can use your own phrases along with the phrases given. For example, there are keywords. These are the keywords. In case if there is a keyword which is a phrase, for example, there are 10 keywords given. You have to use all the 10 keywords in the same sequence. Please remember that. Don't make a mistake. What it says is, in case there is a phrase given, you can add more to that phrase. For example, number 11, if the phrase is please contact us, you can make an extension out of it. Please contact us in case So please contact us in case you face any difficulties while changing the password. This is what was given as a part of the question, please contact us, and I have added this as a part of the answer. This is just an example, don't get confused. Okay. Now let's take a look at it. The question is, write an email to Vikas Singh detailing the procedure to reset his password for Wi-Fi in order to access internet through his desktop. These are the keywords: reset, default, password, special character, browser, router, Wi-Fi, internet, procedure, account. Okay. Now these are the keywords I am going to use. I am going to make it a little more user friendly so that you understand. Okay. So instead of writing the keywords this way, I wrote it this way so that we take less space. Alright, so we're going to go left to right, reset default password, special character browser, router, Wi-Fi, internet, procedure, account. Please keep in mind we have to follow the same sequence as well. So here come the actual email that I'm going to write now. Please remember I mentioned in the do's the email should always be left indent, correct? And it should always start with hello. And what is the name? Hello Vikas, because the question says write an email to Vikas Singh, detail the procedure to reset his password. So I'm just starting the email. Hello Vikas, I would like to help you to reset the default password. As you are facing some issues. I just added that line. That's absolutely fine. Hello Vikas, I would like to help you to reset the default password as you are facing some issues. Please make sure the password has and numerics as well. So please make sure the password has special character and numeric as well. You may open browser, preferably Google Chrome, and connect with the router to enable the Wi-Fi. This will allow you access internet on your desktop. Now I change the paragraph. Why did I change the paragraph? Because now I'm going to summarize. This is the main crux of the email. Now I'm going to summarize. In case if you have any questions about the procedure, I'm going to reduce this a little bit. I hope this is visible. So let me read this to you. Hello Vikas, I would like to help you to reset the default password as you are facing some issues. Please make sure the password has special character and numeric as well. You may open a browser, preferably Google Chrome, and connect with the router to enable Wi-Fi. This will allow you to access internet on your desktop. In case you have any questions about the procedure, you can contact me. If you're not able to access the internet, please try reactivating your account from the settings. Thanks and regards, your name. Now the point to be noted is these are the keywords that were given: reset, default password, special character, browser, router, Wi-Fi, internet, procedure, account. My email should use all these keywords. Even if I miss one keyword, I will get disqualified. Let's start. Reset. I would like to help you to reset. So here it is. Reset is done. Default. I would like to help you to reset the default password. Now password is also used. As you are facing some issues, please make sure the password has special character. You see this special character here? It's used. And numeric as well. You may open a browser, preferably Google Chrome. So you may open a browser. So I've used browser as well. Now next 5 words I need to use: router, Wi-Fi, internet, procedure, account. Okay, so let's look at router. Where did I use? Preferably Google Chrome and connect with the router to enable the Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi is also used. This will allow you to access internet on your desktop. In case you have any questions about the procedure, so I use procedure. You can contact me. If you are not able to access the internet, please try reactivating your account from settings. So I have not only used all the keywords, but I have also used it in the same sequence. Earlier we thought that following the sequence is not necessary. Then we again saw some people got disqualified. We checked and figured that it's good to use the same sequence as well. Now point to be noted in this particular email: if you see the entire email is left indent, you can put a scale here and see everything is left. The common mistakes what people do, instead of saying hello, they say hi. This is wrong. It should always be hello. When you're writing an email, lot of people have the tendency of leaving a gap here. They start a paragraph like this. This is wrong. Please don't do this. This is absolutely wrong. You don't have to leave this gap. Okay? This gap is unnecessary. Another mistake that people do, they say hi Vikas or hello Vikas and they use a comma. This comma should not be used at all. This is not needed. It has no role to play. Quickly talk about certain aspect of punctuation. If you make a mistake in punctuation, you will lose marks. If you look closely here, please make sure I have used a comma. Okay, let me highlight this. You see this here? Please make sure comma. Now when I use a comma, lot of people make a mistake. They say please make sure the space, comma, again space, then the word starts. That is absolutely wrong. There should not be any space before the comma. It should be after the comma. So if I am writing a sentence, I need to use comma and after that there should be a space. And if I use a comma, the next word should start with lowercase. It cannot start with uppercase. It will start with uppercase only in case of noun. For example, let me show you an illustration here. Just a moment. I went to the airport, ordered a cup of coffee. Okay, look at this entire sentence. I went to the airport. Let me zoom it a little more so that it's clearly visible to all of you. I went to the airport, comma, space, ordered a cup of coffee and waited for the flight. The moment I was ready to leave, let me reduce this a bit. The moment I was ready to leave, comma, I met my friend. So I is uppercase here because first person I will always be uppercase, or if it's a noun, name of a place, for example, the moment I was ready to leave, John asked me to talk to him. So J is capital because it's a name. So any name will always start with the capital letter. So please keep that in mind. Okay. So that's about punctuation. You need to be very, very sure that in case if you're using a comma, after the comma there should be space, not before that. If you make such silly mistakes, you will lose points. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the email. All right. Now I want to talk quickly about the structure as well. So I started the mail. I spoke about the main topic in the very first paragraph. I moved to the next paragraph because my thought group is changing. Now I want to summarize it. So the email will have the structure. You can start with an introduction. In this case, it's a pretty straightforward email. You don't have to really introduce. If you want to, you can do that. Then I wrote the main content of the email. Then I summarized. Now, important point is, it says minimum words should be 50. Otherwise, the email cannot be validated. Now, I want to exclude hello Vikas and thanks and regards, and I want to see how many words I have used. I select all this and it says 84. In bottom in Word document, it will show as 84. So I've used 84 words, which is absolutely fine. Even though it says minimum 50 words, I have used 80 words. Clear? So let me quickly check. Just make a note of these aspects. Let me have that on the screen. Meanwhile, I'm going to quickly check if we're going to have the provision for call-in so that you can ask any questions. So let's have this on the screen so that they can make a note of it. So look at the email, look at the structure, and like I said, if you're writing this in Word, you will get to know where you are making the mistake. All right. Let me zoom in and show you. If I make a mistake, the system will automatically show me. For example, if I use a space before comma, you see this green line. You see this? You see this green underline? That means there is an error. So since I'm using Word document, it will show me that I made a mistake. Even if I use it like this, it will show me that I have made a mistake. If I make a spelling mistake, it will show red mark. Okay? But in your tool, in the TCS assessment, the system will not show you where the mistakes are. So you got to be very, very, very sure that you're not making these punctuation mistakes or even grammatical mistakes. Okay, let's go on to the next topic. The next email that I want to practice. Now before that, in case if anybody has any questions, you can call. I want to give this particular question as an assignment. You can provide your answer on the comment section of the YouTube video. Okay. Now while I'm reading this question, you will see a number flash on your screen. If you have any doubts, you want to speak, you can call. While you call, I want to read out this particular email which you need to write for tomorrow's assignment. You can post this answer on the comment section of the YouTube video. Let's go. Write an email to Bhavya Reddy giving her the details of the procedure of deleting temp files from her desktop. So we all have temp files that gets created on the desktop, which slows down the performance of the system. So you need to write an email. The receiver's name is Bhavya Reddy. You need to tell her how to delete these temp files from the desktop. Okay. Follow the rules mentioned below. Use all the keywords given below. Minimum words should be 50, otherwise your email cannot be validated. Addressing and signing should be done as in the questions given. Common grammatical rules, punctuation should be according to standard English. You can use your own phrases along with the phrases given. So this is a question. I want to mark this in bold red so that you can identify. Please make a note of this. Okay, and here are the keywords. These are the 10 keywords that you need to use. To make it simple, you don't have to follow the same sequence because this is a practice assessment. For once, as one-time concession, you don't have to follow the same sequence. But next time onwards, you need to use the same sequence. So the keywords are D drive, delete, cleanup, temp files, restart, system, speed, cookies, browser, procedure. Please make a note of this. D drive, delete, cleanup, temp files, restart, system, speed, cookies, browser, and procedure. These are the keywords that you will need to use on the email that you're going to write. This is the email which you are supposed to write. An email to Bhavya Reddy giving her the details of procedure of deleting temp files from her desktop. Okay. Now how will you send this assignment? It's fairly simple. Go to YouTube. You can open, let me look up the name just a moment. So you have MANATV Amravati, you can just look it up. Look for the particular session. It will have the date as well. It will always show the date. For example, the date will come here because right now, since this is live, you are seeing it live now. Okay. So once you are done, you can open this and then you can go to the comment section and you can post the answer. Okay. You can also post the question here. Okay, somebody has already asked some questions. Somebody is asking questions as, hi bro. I'm sorry, I'm not your bro. I'm a trainer here. So please don't bro me. As far as the technical questions, what are the technical questions they will ask? Some other trainer is going to come and talk about it. So don't worry about that at all. So as far as the assignment is concerned, I would really request you to please post your question. And in case if you choose to ask the questions here, please do. But please keep it very professional. When you talk to someone on a professional setup as a bro, it's considered extremely rude and unprofessional. So please don't do that. You may keep posting your question. I will take a look at it. Now in the live session, it's difficult for me to keep a tab on the questions. So once the session is over, post your question in the comment section. I will take a look at it and I will provide you with the answer. Okay. So once again, here is your assignment for tomorrow. Please write this email and post it on the comment section. I'll take a look at it. I will also announce the person's name, whoever writes the most accurate email. So I repeat, the question is, you need to write an email to Bhavya Reddy giving her the details of procedure of deleting temp files from her desktop. You need to make sure you use all the keywords. Minimum word count is 50. You need to use the same addressing and signing which is mentioned on the question. You should not be making grammatical mistakes or punctuation mistakes. You will lose points. And here are the keywords: D drive, delete, clean up, temp files, restart, system, speed, cookies, browser, procedure. All right. So I hope this was helpful for today. Tomorrow I am really keen to see how many of you send the right responses, because I'm learning something. Based on that, I will give you more example, but tomorrow's session will be more intense. Now, when I say tomorrow, it doesn't mean it's 15th of August. We are all going to celebrate Independence Day. So tomorrow we do not have a session, but day after what I'm talking about. So day after when we meet, I'm going to give you the basics of email writing skills, how the structure should look like, where you end up making mistakes. I will speak a bit on the common spelling mistakes that we end up doing and how to avoid it as well. All right. So have a great day. I'll see you guys day after. And please, you have 2 days time. Please write as many times as possible. You can send your email like 5 or 6 times on the comment section. Absolutely fine, as long as it's making you perfect. All right. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.